Hello, delicious and magical human. Welcome. If this is your first time, halala, I promise to break your virginity with me ever so gently. And if you are returning, you know how we do. Sunny Bonani, Dumalang, goeie afternoon, Bombi. So if you've seen any of my previous 3 episodes, you would have evidently and very clearly have seen that I've been feeling all those feels. I've been feeling all those feels. I've been feeling the shit. I've been feeling that manure. I've been feeling that kakari poopy. Yes, I really, really have. So interesting. I think it was 3 episodes ago, I even felt like I had been defeated by life. But as always, this too changes. And nothing is ever the same, or nothing ever stays the same, right? Everything is always changing, evolving, morphing, transforming, altering, amending, shifting, adjusting. So we are no different. So yes, I was called to get my doodle deck today, a deck which is still a work in progress, but one that I'm really becoming rather fond of. So I've doodled these cute little pictures at the back, and then I take messages that come my way and I place them onto whichever picture actually systematically reveals itself. So yes, quite playful in nature, and today I felt called to pull one of these cards. So I'm going to just let a number drop into my awareness and let a number drop into your awareness, a number between 1 to 166, because that's how many I've made. And yes, 84. Let's see what message number 84 wants to reveal. Yes, so it says, you are heaven, materialized into magic. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thanks. Thanks, guys. So this is the little doodle. I'll just leave it here so that the little symbols and signs and lines can just speak to you, literally, if you allow them to, and if you invite their wisdom in. They have much to share. So yes, you are heaven materialized into magic. And it's so interesting because I did cheat a little bit prior to this record, and there was another card that came out along a similar vein, and I wasn't feeling it fully. So it's so interesting that a similar type of card comes out and reveals itself, but one which I feel just resonates a little bit more with my heart. And it's also so interesting because I just shared that over the last 3 days, I've been feeling all the feels. I've been really, really like trudging through that, molasses, feeling like, oh, whoa, it's me. Trying not to get into that victim state and victim mentality of, oh, why is this happening to me? Just getting on with it and just being like, okay, well, it's happening, and whatever's happening is happening. And how am I responding to this? What emotions are literally moving through my physical body viscerally? And what do I need to honor? And what do I need to sit with? As much as we want to sometimes run away from these uncomfortable and denser emotions, there's nothing more empowering and powerful than sitting in them and truly feeling them so that we can alchemize and transmute them and use them in a constructive way. So it's so interesting because like when we think about heaven, we always think about the golden gates and we think about the angels. And if there's a song playing, it's probably like, like church music. And this is like what I feel we've been preconditioned or almost brainwashed. If there was propaganda, this is the propaganda that I feel we would be receiving, you know. Golden roads, and I'm sure you get the gist of where I'm going with this, right? And it's so interesting because I don't know, at least for me, you know, for me, this is my experience. It's my vlog, okay? If you get upset about it, then just get over yourself. But for me, I don't know, like, is heaven really like that? Is it? Does God really care about like golden roads? I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe she does, you know. Ooh, you know. But yes, it just makes me contemplate and challenge the thinking that we've been so vigilantly made to believe. And it's really got me wondering about what heaven really is like. There's so many people that say and suggest that the earthly realm and the earthly plane is hell. Wow. So it's from one extreme to the next. And I'm always so curious and interested when people do say that, because life's clearly been really, really challenging for you to believe that earth is a form of hell or it's hell. And I don't subscribe to that at all. Not to say that there aren't hellish places or hellish experiences on earth, but to say that earth in its totality is hell is something that I definitely don't resonate with at all. And when I read this, you are heaven materialized into magic, I can't help but think that heaven is just a completely different thing. And this is just such a powerful little quote that makes you stop and contemplate the aspects and possibility of what if you are heaven. I'm sure some people are like spitting in the comments right now. Blasphemous, blasphemous. But yes, what if you are your own heaven and your own hell? You make it all up. You make up the aspects and elements of what you would deem to be heaven. And similarly, with those aspects and elements that you would deem to come from hell. You know, like for the last 3 days, I would say that my experience or how I've been feeling has been teetering more on the darker domain, you know? Definitely not illuminating towards the sunshine and the light of heaven. And previously, I probably would have given myself an even harder time that I'm giving myself now for feeling those emotions, you know, because I did go through the new age spiritual movement where everything was just love and light. I did the the vegetarian thing, guys. I never went vegan, but I did do the vegetarian thing for quite some time. And it was at a very powerful turning point in my life where I had to take a really good hard look at myself, because I was becoming acutely aware of how I was judging everyone, because I was just so much better. I was just so much more enlightened because I wasn't eating meat, you know? I was more illuminated. I was more connected to source because I wasn't brutally, savagely murdering animals. Yeah? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I never forget, I went to this conference, which was about new like schooling modalities and homeschooling or self-directed education. And I never forget that there was this fabulous woman there. I'd say she was fabulous because she actually was the one who like sowed the seed in my mind. I never forget, she was there and she was complaining about how a certain store had just introduced vegan eggs or something like that. I don't know how that's possible, but you get vegan cheese, so I'm not sure how it's made, but and she was going on an absolute rant that a store which gets frequented by quite a lot of people was selling this vegan egg. She was up in arms, absolute arms, because, and I found her reasoning to be so fascinating, because being a vegan to her was something that only a few were part of. It was a very select and elite group of people who were into being vegan, right? And now here had come this mainstream store and had introduced vegan eggs or something. And she was having a fit. She was not having it because the specialness of being a vegan was now becoming mainstream. And what else did she have to now differentiate herself from the flock of sheep if more people were becoming vegan? And she really did plant that seed of skepticism and curiosity. And I remember at the time thinking, well, I'll never become a vegan, as they would say, and wear that label and that title. But I had very easily adopted and taken on the label of being a vegetarian. I made it a point to let everybody know how vegetarianist I was. Because I guess I believe that if I did that, people would believe that I was more enlightened and more connected to source and to spirit. And not to say that it didn't serve me, because trust me and believe me when I say that initially, when I started off going down the vegetarian route, it was something that I innately actually was called to do. The smell of meat was actually very, very, very off-putting. I remember having my first child, and there was definitely no meat happening there. Just the smell was just too much for me. But as the years progressed and as my group and circle of friends changed, I started to see how being a vegetarian could become a badge of honor, a noddy badge, you know? And God was going to knight me. Dame Monica de Silva, I knight you because of your vegetarian diet. Anyway, guys, it was very quickly made apparent and aware to me during the pandemic when I lost all sense of taste or texture in my mouth. I don't know what was going on, but clearly I also had to experience something that would shift my perspective and my reality and unmask myself, as many of us had to do over that period in time. And I never forget, the first thing I broke my vegetarianism with was a piece of octopus. And I don't know if it was because of the texture, because I couldn't taste anything. Like literally, I could not taste a thing. So the only relief or the only joy or fulfillment that I got was eating something that had texture to it. So a piece of octopus is quite textural in nature. Let me tell you, I ate that octopus unapologetically. I almost felt like the heavens, like we've been made to believe, opened up for me. I could hear the angels singing in the background. I could see the luminescent lights before me as I ate this octopus. And I very quickly became aware of the judgment that I had been casting, and this belief that I was somehow more enlightened and superior and connected to source because of my diet and my unwillingness to slaughter animals, you know. So I'm very grateful for that octopus, because that octopus actually saved my life and shifted me in ways that I never thought I would be shifted. If you know anything about the octopus, you know how highly intelligent those animals are. In fact, I don't even see them as animals. I literally see them as extraterrestrial beings on this planet. And the fact that the octopus literally spoke to me and was like, eat me, eat me, was, I guess, an experience that I'm just so grateful for. And if I just think about this card and I draw it back, you know, you are heaven materialized into magic. I think it's just like, it's so amazing how this human experience facilitates this very thing. But only if you believe it and only if you allow for it. If you're so attached to those labels, if you're so attached to the protagonist story of what certain things look like, I truly believe that it will be so much harder for you to push past those labels and push past those images and narratives and belief systems that we've literally been indoctrinated to believe. And I so do believe that we are heaven coming to earth. And that's what we're here to do and bring and anchor into, you know. And I believe that this realm is equally heaven and hell. And we're here to experience the fullness of it, the full spectrum, you know, the whole cohotus, not just the one side, but both sides. And through it, we get to experience this magic that wants to literally be birthed through us and by us and to us. So it's so interesting that I went down that road of the vegetarianism. And if you're still here, wow, oh, you've done very well, because I do like to rant a little bit. But if you are still here, there must be something that is speaking to you. There must be something in my tone of voice, the message that's being relayed, perhaps some degree of empathy or resonance and relevance. But yes, I hope that this beautiful card and this message of you are heaven materialized into magic is a powerful reminder for you. And it's come at a time in your life where maybe it's words that you truly do need to hear. And I invite you to write down all those labels. I am this. I am that. I am vegetarian. I am a mom. I am an entrepreneur. Yeah, all of those labels, all of them, put them all down. And then I want to invite you to burn them all, and sit with this aspect and sit with those ashes and tap into who you are then. Once you've burnt away all those labels and all those beliefs of who you are, I invite you to sit with that. And I trust that it provides an opportunity. And the truth reveals itself to you of who you truly are and what you're truly here to experience. And this card for me sums it up just so beautifully of you are heaven materialized into magic. And in a time and in a world where we are made to believe that we are anything but magical, I personally want to invite you to challenge that, contemplate upon it, discard all of what you think you know, and be open to all the aspects and elements that you have no clue about, of where we come from, why we're here, where we're going to, the present, the past, the now. And just sit with this quote: you are heaven materialized into magic. Just sit with that and invite whatever revelations want to reveal themselves, whatever emotions, sensations, visual images, whatever wants to come your way based on just this little quote here. And yeah, see what message comes your way. And more importantly, connect with how it makes you feel viscerally within your physical vessel, within your physical body. Knowing that you are heaven and you've just materialized into something magical. So with that being said, and with those seeds having been planted, I'm going to allow for the flow of life to guide and find you so that you may continue to grow, illuminate, and glow. Until tomorrow's episode, stay magical, stay brilliant, stay bright. And if you are a vegetarian, guys, this isn't about being vegetarian or not being vegetarian. So don't take offense. It's a personal share, and one which I was called to share for whatever reason. And yeah, please note that I still pretty much eat a vegetarian type of diet, but I don't hold the same judgments and what's that word? I don't ostracize others if I see them eating the ostrich. Because yeah, we're all just here to experience what we need to experience, and we aren't cookie cutter. You know, God didn't make us to be all the same. God made us to be uniquely different and to bring our own unique magic and our own unique essence and wonder and slice of heaven to this earthly realm and to this earthly plane. So 23:33. Stay wondrous. I'll check you on the next episode. Bye. I'm gonna go get some biltong now. If you South African, you know what that is. Biltong. And a sticky dry wors also. Oh, I love me some dry wors. I really do. Bye.